Hello, high levelers. Rayo Daniel here, and we're going to be covering conversational AI in this video. This is a new feature that is really cool inside of HighLevel. It opens up the possibility of using AI to respond to customers on multiple channels. So this is going to be a little bit longer of a video because I'm going to go over everything every component in the system step by step. But before I do that, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please take a quick second, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell, get notified whenever I get new videos because I appreciate your support. Thank you so much, and let's hop into it. So here we've got another one of our demo accounts. And just to kind of let you know on this one, this is my HVAC demo account. So I've kind of tied HighLevel with an actual website. The company is called Fresh Flow HVAC. Here's the website. So again, this is made from one of the HighLevel templates. And again, I've got my little demo over here. This website is not a real company, even though, funny enough, people still keep leaving me messages from Angie's List and other places wanting to sell me leads. I don't get it, but oh well, enough about that. So right now, what we're going to do is talk about conversational AI, how to get it set up and things like that, and then how to get it all configured for your particular sub account or even your particular client, because this is a pretty cool feature. So right now, this is one of our demo accounts. But before we get started here, I do want to sit back and hop into this talk at the company level. You need to go to your agency company level, and you need to turn on conversation AI here. So if you take a look, conversation AI needs to be enabled. This is at the agency level. Okay, and once you turn it on, then it becomes available to your sub accounts. Now, HighLevel, several months ago, I'm not sure, it could be longer, but they actually came up with an area here for conversational AI for allowing you to choose. Here's a way for you to check each sub account and then enable or disable this feature. And then you can actually enable or disable rebilling for this. So I am going to cover rebilling for this because I do want to sit back and cover some of the costs involved with it and let you know what that is. But I will get to configuring conversational AI, but this is very important because as you use it, as your customers use it, there is a cost to it, and you as the agency owner will bear the cost of that. And you want to make sure that your customers or your clients know that these costs are passed through, or even if there are a SaaS customer, that you're being rebilled and that they're being charged, maybe a different value for that. So this conversational AI is where you can turn all of those features on. I'm going to come back over here and go to the SaaS configurator again. We're going to hop into one of the plans. It doesn't matter which one we hop into, and we're going to go to rebilling. So rebilling is a great way if you have the SaaS configurator, and forgive me, this is only available if you have the Agency Pro plan, which, by the way, if you're watching this, you absolutely have to go to the Agency Pro plan, period. Even if you're at the unlimited plan at $297, there are so many additional ways of making money, so much relief, headaches that you normally have from billing and charging people stuff that's automatically done for you on the Agency Pro plan. Go out there, get it. If you have not signed up for HighLevel, use my affiliate link down in the link below. You get coaching by me and a ton of other free stuff, but enough about that. So here in the rebilling, this is a great area for you to come to because this is the area that shows you what your costs are, and depending upon your multiplier, if you're choosing to rebill for that service, what your rebilling cost is. So let's take a look here at the Conversation AI. Now, if we look at this over here, we see I'm going to try to blow this up just to make it easier to view. I do have Conversation AI turned on, and right now it is at a 3x multiplier. So right now you see charge 2 cents per message. So this is a base message. Anytime you send a reply back, whether it be suggestive, which we're going to take a look at here, or automatic mode, either one of those is going to cost you 2 cents for every message that you send. Now, that's how much HighLevel is charging you, the agency owner. It doesn't mean that you have to charge your customers charge that. You can charge them more. So if I'm charging them at a 3x multiplier, then you see right here, depending on the multiplier to charge the customer is 6 cents. So $10, and again, the $10 is really goes back to kind of offering credits. Like if you were to offer a $10 credit with your SaaS plan, $10 will give you about 165 messages. So that's just a nice thing. And it's just saying profit-wise, I, as the agency owner, would be making 4 cents for every message that happens in AI automatically for free for every customer, every day, all day. Now you see the benefit of going to the $497 plan because you could be making hundreds, if not thousands of extra dollars on all of this rebilling. All of this rebilling that you see here that you could possibly work from, all of that gets charged to your customer and your client. Now, I will sit back and make sure, you will need to make sure that you tell your customers this because you don't want them to be a surprise. You want them to know what the charges are if they're going to be using conversational AI. If they don't want to use it and they don't even want to have the possibility, then go back to the other screen that we were at and turn that off for that sub account, like disable it for that particular sub account. That way they don't even have that feature and they can't even use it. Now, before that screen was even there, you had to turn it on for all of your sub accounts. So it's like all or nothing. But now that they've got that nice conversational AI, you can enable and disable for each sub account. So just remember that you can do that. Now, if it is a SaaS customer, the SaaS plan will apply to that. So just please be careful. And you just need to make sure that these charges, if you're doing the, like on this case, the 3x, and you're going to charge them 6 cents per message, that needs to be included like in some sort of a charge summary fee schedule inside of your service agreement whenever they sign up for your services. So you need to make sure you disclose that, just for full transparency, as well as all the other fees and charges that you charge, because you don't want it to be any kind of surprise. And the good thing is with the Agency Pro plan, you don't need to calculate, you don't need to go through and manually figure out how much HighLevel charge you and how much the multiplier is and how much you're going to charge a customer, and finding the difference and doing all those calculations for every person, for every service. That would just be a nightmare. That's what the people in the unlimited plan have to do. But if you're on the Agency Pro plan, the SaaS configurator, HighLevel, just handles all the billing for you. They will charge your customer what's on the screen here, charge the customer, and then you get the profit based upon that. Boom. It's as simple as that. They get charged, they being the client, will get charged with a credit card every single month, and it becomes much easier for you, the agency owner, to do that. So that right there is just the intro to get conversational AI set up, kind of how you need to prepare your clients for it. Now let's hop into the nitty gritty. Let's go in and take a look at one of our sub accounts here. And I'm using, in this kind of case, the FreshFlow HVAC account that I've got set up for, because we do work with HVAC contractors, and just want to sit back and have at least a demo account that we could show them how things work. So anyway, we got this right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to come down to our settings, and we're going to come over to conversational AI. Hey, real quick, guys, if you're looking to start your own software company, then click on my free course in the link below. I'm going to teach you 8 ways that you can start your own software company very easily with no money out of pocket, no experience, and absolutely no tech skills. Check it out. Click the link below, and let's get back to the video. Now, this right here there's a lot of information here, and I'm going to go over all of it, but we've got multiple tabs across the top, which we'll cover all of the tabs. We've got our different preferences here, and we've got some of the advanced settings and things, as well as some of the cost plans. So I'm going to scroll out a little bit. Now, if you don't want to use this and you've got conversational AI turned on for a sub account, they can come here and just turn it off. Boom. Once it's turned off, it won't be used. All the features won't be available inside of that sub account until you turn it on to either suggestive mode, which is what it's in right now, or autopilot mode. Now, those are the 3 different modes that you can have it turned on with. Now, just to let you know, suggestive mode is a manual mode. Okay, that means it's turning on the features, and you have to go in and use that particular feature, manually do something to use it inside of the HighLevel system. If you have it on autopilot, then you don't get any say-so with that. The system just automatically sends it based upon the parameters that we're going to configure here, and it's all done on autopilot. And I would suggest, again, with this particular conversation AI, training and practice and going through this, you're going to spend several hours, if not necessarily a couple of days, maybe just testing some of this stuff if you're dealing with specific niches, because then that way you can fine tune all of this conversation, all of these Q&A and things that we're going to do when we talk about training the bot here, training the conversation AI. You can use that same system for every client moving forward if they're in the same niche. So, and I'll show you as we move forward, you'll understand a little bit more and more. So right now I have it in suggestive mode, which is a manual mode. Now, here for the supported channels, we can choose any of the channels that we get here. Instagram, Facebook, SMS, Google Business Profile, which is nice that they updated that. It was like GMB before, but now it's Google Business Profile. That's what GBP is. Chat widget, SMS chat, and then live chat. Please keep in mind that the chat widget and the live chat are 2 separate instances of the same widget. I have another video on my channel that covers the differences between these. If you want to, it's only about 6 or 8 minutes. Go over and watch it, but each one of those are a different channel. Now, one of the things you're going to see on here that's not available, that's typically available on some of the other channels like in workflows, is the call feature. This conversation AI does not work on calls. There is no, you call in and AI will speak like an automated voice to somebody over the phone. That does not work. That's not a feature as of right now. So that's why you do not see call here on the available channels. So right now I just have it as SMS and the chat widget coming in from the website. That's all we're going to do. You can turn it on the other channels if you want to. You can continue to add this. And if you want to, you can just click the X and remove it. It's just that simple. Now, this AI bot trial, this is where you can go through the trial, and we'll get to that, but this is where you can test the bot. And the good thing about it is the testing part of the bot is free. So again, remember, you have messages that cost you like 2 cents per message. While you're training the bot and going through the training back and forth to fine tune stuff, there's no charge for you to do that, which is really nice that HighLevel did that, because you could rack up a pretty good charge just trying to train it and ask it different questions to see how it responds. So anyway, that's a good thing to know. Now, this advanced settings down here, if you look at the business name, you can put in whatever you want, but this right here, if you put a name in here, then this name will be used throughout the AI bot as the actual name, but then it says business name, the default is the location name unless you use this AI. If you take a look here, AI.business_name and prompt, if you do use that, then it uses this name here. So just be careful if you don't have that anywhere where you would see AI.business_name, you will need to change that if you don't have anything listed here. So probably just to be a good idea just to put stuff in here and have it done. So This right here is fresh flow heating and cooling. Now, this right here is some of the autopilot mode settings. Now, I'm not going to put this on autopilot mode. I'm just going to show you sort of a manual mode, and then you're going to have to use your imagination to understand if you're going to switch it to automatic, how all of this stuff just happens automatically without the manual part of what we're going to be doing. So anyway, right now, configuring the autopilot settings, here is the wait time. Wait time before responding. So if you want to hear, the bot will wait this amount of time before replies. So right now, I think by default, it's like 2 minutes. That's way too long. You don't want to have somebody waiting, on their phone on a chat, waiting, looking at their phone for 2 minutes. That's a long time to sit back and wait. But really 5 seconds is probably a little bit too soon because, you're typing stuff. So you might want to make it like, I don't know, something like 18 seconds. Something reasonable that, somebody had to type some stuff up and then think about what you said and reply back. Now you can make it a little bit longer if you want to, but typically this bot is going to be used to answer people's questions and ultimately get them to schedule an appointment with what you're doing. So you want to make sure that you keep the conversation going quickly and not have them wait so long because, if you have them wait too long, they may very well bounce off and go somewhere else. So maximum messages a bot can send to the contact. This is very important. Now, I think the default here is 10. I dropped it down to 8. But this right here is how many messages go back and forth before the bot just says, okay, that's it, no more messages, and it stops responding to the particular person. This is a great way to handle a situation where you don't have an infinite number of, that you can't just keep going back and forth for an indefinite number of times. So that right there is, and hopefully you're not going to go back and forth that many times with this particular person to answer some questions or get them to the point where either, they can call the office for something or they're going to send them a link to a calendar, which we'll take a look at here, and book an appointment. So, and then last but not least, send bot to sleep when I send a message manually or through a workflow. Notice that this is toggled, so this is a toggle switch, but there's also a time limit. So let me explain this real quick. If you're communicating back and forth, the AI bot's communicating with somebody, and the wait time is more than 2 hours, meaning the bot sent a message and 2 hours have passed and the person has not responded, then the bot, in a sense, will go to sleep. It won't consider that an open channel anymore. It'll consider the fact that that person left and is no longer interested in communicating. So that's one thing that this does. Now, this toggle switch right here also means that for whatever reason, because you're dealing with the contact now, because we're dealing with here the SMS in the chat widget, which means if they're going to come across here on the website, we're going to get their name, their phone number, and the message. So we're going to be able to identify that contact. Now, if that contact does go through, we're going to take a look here of me going into the contact area and doing some manual configurations here. But if you go into the contact CRM and you manually send this person an update in the CRM, then that will put the bot to sleep, because you're manually sending them something outside of the bot. So it's like the bot's almost like saying, hey, you got this. I'm going to step away. I'm not going to be doing anything because you got control of this. Now, it's also going to do that if you put it into a workflow. So if that contact goes through a workflow and then shows up in the execution logs, then that right there will also trigger the bot to go to sleep as well. So that's if you have it turned on, which is a good thing. I mean, it's a good thing because sometimes you might want to engage that person directly, in which case you want the bot to stop. You don't want the bot to respond and then you respond, because then that would make you look silly, right? So anyway, right now, the current plan is 2 cents per response. We saw that back in the SaaS configurator. But if you wanted to, there is an upgraded to unlimited plan, $79 a month. If you really utilize this feature a whole lot, then you might want to look at having your sub account or whatever the client is upgrade to that particular unlimited plan per month, and then they don't have to worry about the monthly charges. So that's kind of what the settings are here. Now, before I move forward here, I want to show you what the suggestive mode is. So I'm going to leave this configuration and then come back to it. So because it's in suggestive mode, what it means is that when you come into the contacts area, now I've already went through and clicked on this particular person and kind of started a conversation. But if you come down here to the area where you have SMS, now I'm going to blow this up. Notice that you see AI bot is thinking. Okay, so what it did here, and you see there's some messages that pop up in here. What the AI bot did was sit back and look at the message that came in through the chat widget. So over here on the website, I used the chat widget and sent a message. The message was, what does it mean that my furnace is making noises when it runs? Can you help me fix it? Okay, just a couple questions. So right now the AI bot looked at that, took some of the things that we've already taught it and learned it, and is producing a response. But what it's doing is producing multiple responses and then letting you select which response you want. So notice if I highlight over it, notice that I see the full response down here in the list. Let me move myself over here so we can see this. So if we take a look here, I'm going to blow this up just so we can see it. Makes it much easier. So here, hey, furnace noises can mean a few things, might be a quick fix or something more serious. How about we set up a service call to check it out? Boom. So see what I mean? The bot is all about getting you to set up a service request, or if you don't like that response, you can go to this one or this one. But if you click on it and send this, then this is going to charge you 2 cents. So this is where the suggestive mode means it's a manual process. And you have to make sure that you do this inside of the desktop app here. As far as I know, all the AI features have not made their way to the mobile app yet. So even if you're doing like, whether it be the suggestive conversation AI or even like the review AI, which by the way, if you're looking for the Google review AI, I have another great video on my channel that covers that as well. But if you're looking for any of those, the mobile app isn't ready to be able to do that. You need to be in the desktop version to look at all the AI stuff. So this is what suggestive mode means. It means that when you're trying to communicate with those people on the channels that you have selected, remember we had SMS and the chat widget, which in a sense, both of those are SMS. The chat widget really just converts to the SMS channel. So that's why when we look at SMS, you get that AI bot is thinking because you turned on suggestive mode. Now you don't have to use it, by the way. If you just want to come down here, you can just type whatever message you want. You don't have to use the suggestive ones. I mean, keep in mind, you could highlight this and go, ooh, that looks good. And then come down here and type your own message, something similar. That would be something that you would do. But again, this is all about saving time and just showing you how the AI system can respond and create these messages based upon what you teach it and based upon the conversation that's already in place, which is pretty cool. So that's what suggestive means. And what we're going to do is come back in and continue with this. So that's what suggestive means. You'll have to go into the CRM system for that particular channel. So for instance, if we clicked on this and we did Facebook, anything that came across Facebook Messenger would also be able to have the AI bot thinking because we have that channel selected. But if, for instance, Instagram, we don't have that selected. If we get a message that comes across on Instagram, the AI bot is thinking will not show up in that particular channel inside of contacts. So hopefully you kind of got an idea of how you can use it and how it's used based upon the different channels that you select here. So I'm going to go ahead and just cancel this. Now we're going to come over to the bot trial. Now this right here is where, first of all, it says it's online and we can sit back and simply type in a message, click send and see what it responds to. But before I do that, I'd like to go into some of the training options first and then come back into how we do this. Okay. So forgive me, I'm going to bounce around a little bit here, but with the bot training, this is really super cool. So right now you can have several different things here that you can actually put into the web crawler, for instance, to actually go out. For instance, if you have a website and the website has a lot of frequently asked questions, which by the way, if you just so happen to take a look here, I'm going to close this. And for the purposes of this demo right here, what we did is on this main screen, we built out just a whole lot of FAQs. If you take a look at all these. So if you wanted to, this is a great way. If you're building the website for the client, you can have a list of all of these FAQs. You can post them on the website and then have the bot go to that particular website, learn it, and it will scan all of those FAQ questions and sit back and find out about, like, again, how does humidity affect HVAC performance? So if we do this, this might be something that we type in here. So something to do with humidity and my furnace and see if it comes back and gives us this, this message that we have in the answer for the frequently asked questions. So that is pretty cool that we can sit back and do that. So if we take a look here, we've got a couple of different options. We've got the exact URL. So that just means that this particular page, you can give it exact page like a website dash FAQ. You can say all URLs with this path. So that means it says start from the high level domain, which in this case is fresh flow HVAC, and then scan all subsequent pages. So give me that domain and that all the pages underneath it can get scanned and learned too. That you can do. Now keep in mind, depending on how big the site is and so forth, it could take 5, 10, up to maybe even a half an hour for it to scan the sites and come back and show you that everything is done. Now the good thing is whenever you do this, notice for this, you have this here and you see I've put this in here. I had the exact path because I had all the frequently asked questions here on the main page. That's why I chose the exact URL. I gave it this, so it just learned that page and none of the other subsequent pages, because quite honestly, this is a one-page website that I built. So it doesn't really matter what you choose here. You can choose about, contact, and things like that. So that right there is the way I built it. And whenever you put it in there and it goes through, it gives you a status update of this has been trained. So that's great. It gives you the thumbs up whenever it's completely finished. And if you want to, if you ever update the page, you can simply click on this to go refresh it. Or if you don't want it, if you want it to unlearn and forget all the information in here, you could just click delete and remove it. So those are the things that you can do here in this particular area. And so just choose whatever path that you want. Now, this down here is going to be somewhat kind of neat here. Customize bot responses. So if you want to manually come in here and put a question and answer, you could. So you could type a question and then notice here, I put one in here, how often should I change my filter? And I put in here, furnace filter should be changed every 30 or 90 days, depending on the type of filter that you purchase, blah, 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 blah. So this is one that I created. Now I'm going to show you during the training bot how if you adjust what the bot sends you back from the training, it'll actually create this response for you. And just follow me on that one. I'll show you what I mean. But you can actually manually add Q&As here. Now, if you're doing this on a mass scale, if you're client is a little bit unique and they're not sort of just a generic shop and they have very specific questions, then you might want to add these Q&As to here to train the bot. And once it's in here, then the bot can use that information to respond back to people when they ask a question. So that's kind of how the training works. And then configure intent. This is really comes back to enabling what is the intent of the bot? What is the purpose of it? And if you want to, I think HighLevel does a great job with just the prompts by themselves. So right now, who is the bot? And I'll blow this up for you guys here. You can say you are a bot for, again, look at this AI.business name. So it's using that business name in the field. If you don't have anything in there, then you probably want to change it here to say the business name or whatever, but you can edit this directly. I'm just going to leave this in here because I did fill in the name. So it says you are a bot for fresh flow heating and cooling, task to assist customers. Your primary goal is to build trust and help out the customers by referencing our wiki information that you've already been trained. So that's it. Now, the goal here, notice that this bot, if I wanted to, I could type stuff in here and like who the bot is, you can go in a little bit further. I mean, if you want to give the bot a name, things like that, you can say, give it a name, and now it has a name presence in there. That's pretty cool. If you want to add any kind of custom values from here, those are available to use inside of here as well. Pretty cool. This goal part right here, it looks like your goal is to assist customers with their new queries, but again, this is not editable because this is coming soon. It's not a feature that you can edit right now. But then, anything else the bot should know. Here's some of the things in here. Conversational guidelines. I'm going to scroll down here. Maintain a casual, purposeful, concise tone. Mirror the customer's language and manner of speaking. So you see, HighLevel's already done a lot of the programming of the bot to try to match and mirror the way the person speaks. Are they formal? Are they very detail oriented? When they ask a lot of detailed questions, the bot can respond back with a detailed question. Are they pretty easygoing? The bot will respond back easygoing. So that's pretty cool too. But if you wanted to, you can adjust these values here and customize it even further. So that right there is how you would configure the intent. Here for the appointment booking, you can sit back, and if you do have a calendar, and I do have one built in here, you'll have to create a calendar inside of HighLevel. I've got a service calendar and an estimate calendar because a lot of times heating and cooling companies will need, like, if you need work done, then we'll book you on the service calendar. But if you need a replacement and you need an estimate quote, then that could be like a different team of people. They would use the estimate calendar to schedule all of those. So I just made it differently. So if somebody wanted to book an appointment, they would be going on the service calendar. That just makes sense. So if you have the service calendar already configured or no calendar, just get it created, set it up for whatever calendar is best for what you need it to. I think for this purpose, a simple calendar would be just fine. Put it in here, select it from the drop down, and you're ready to go. Now, here's an option that you do have that is important. Do not book appointment, only send the booking link. So this right here is selected here. And again, if you have this selected, if somebody shows interest in setting up an appointment, the AI bot will respond, send back a request with a link to the calendar that you selected here. Now, if you don't do that, then what it will do is it will go back and say, well, we have an appointment. It'll look at the service calendar and try to find a time going back and forth that will work. Would Monday or Tuesday be better? Tuesday would be better. Would morning or afternoon be better? Morning would be better. We have 9 or 10 o'clock available, and it will go back and forth and then initially just book that particular person into that particular slot. But keep in mind, every communication back and forth, 2 cents, 2 cents, 2 cents. So you kind of get my point. This right here is where if you select the booking, you don't have to go back and forth. You could keep going back and forth, scheduling this 5, 6, 7, 10 times to get an exact right, depending on the other person's schedule. Or you can just say, no, thanks. I don't want to go through all that and have the bot do that. I'm just going to send them a booking link, and then it'll link to the calendar, and then they can select a date and time that works best. So that's going to be up to you whether or not how you want to edit that and how you want to select it. So now, after all of that, you see that is a lot of stuff to configure, but not a whole lot. I mean, if you really think about it, based upon how you want to do it, it's really training the bot and getting the bot to understand what's going on is going to be the key. Now, one thing I do want to sit back and do, because this is a URL here, I'm not going to do an example in this video, but I just want to sit back and show you, if you're using an exact URL, you don't have to reference a website. This is kind of blow your mind. You can actually have a Google document that you have shared and made available to the public with a link. And then you can put the link inside here. So if you don't want to build, for instance, let's just say this FAQ that I have listed here. I want to put all of these FAQs inside of a Google Doc, and then all of my clients, I just want to link them to the Google Doc. So rather than building out an FAQ on each one of their pages, and this really depends on you, you can do it however you want, but rather than put it on their page and then have the bot learn their website, you could just create a unified Google document. Or you could do both, but you can have a Google document that you have shared, made public, take the link, and then put that link here, and then have it go get data. Again, that's a URL because it's a Google document, is available for the web, and if the security is open to make public to everyone with the link, then this high-level training bot can look at it, read it, make use of it, and then voila, it is now added here to the link, and it could be trained and absorb all of that information as well. So that's really powerful, and I just want to make sure I shared that with you before I moved on. So right now, I wanted to sit back and just kind of do a few things here. I remember saying something like humidity. My furnace is not working and humidity is high. Can you help me? So right now the AI bot's coming, and what does it do? I'm going to blow this up. It sounds like you're dealing with some heating and humidity issues. Have you noticed any strange noises or smells coming from your furnace? Wow, pretty good. So right now, if we take a look, that kind of stuff came from these frequently asked questions. So right now, if you wanted to, you can sit back and do thumbs up or thumbs down. So thumbs up would be like a good response to this. So moving forward, that would be something that it knows is good. But if it's not, and I'm going to show you this, I'm going to do this one time just to kind of show you what I mean earlier about that manual Q&A. I'm going to say no. I'm going to pull this up and say thumbs down. And what it's going to say is, oh, I'm so sorry. What is the response that you would like me to give? And I'm just going to change a few things here. It sounds like you're dealing with some issues here. Have you noticed any strange noise with the furnaces? Are smells coming from your furnace or AC unit? I don't know. I'm just going to change it slightly and then click train bot. So now what I've done is I've updated the bot's training to include additional information that I wanted to give out to people or a question to ask that will be valid and maybe have some more information for the bot to deal with. But if you come back over here to bot training, notice now that down here, notice that you have now, because you put that thumbs down, it created a manual, my furnace is not working and humidity is high, can you help me? Boom, now that same issue that we configured is here. So I just want to show you that in the bot trial, you can go back and forth and keep asking questions. It'll respond back to you. But the power of this is really you as the agency owner, understanding the niche that you're going after. You can sit down and actually work with the client. You can actually have the client log into this and have, even if they're a bigger shop, smaller shop, have somebody actually ask it a few questions, because the owner of the business or the person that answers the phone for the business is going to know a lot. These people answer the phones all the time. They know the common questions that they get. They know, probably out of 10 phone calls, 6 of them are going to be the exact same person asking the exact same thing. So why not get those questions and answers perfect on this particular bot so that those can go back perfect, and you can have the employee or the owner sit back and fine tune this with them if you wanted to. And then once you do this, you can then share that knowledge, maybe even with other owners that you have, and put that into a big Google Doc, so that then moving forward, if that answer and response makes sense for everybody in your niche, then you can use that to train all the AI bots moving forward. And then cumulatively, as you move forward, you're going to grow and grow and become better, better, and better. That means your AI bots are going to become better and better, to where all of a sudden they're going to be perfect. Boom, all you do is point them to the website, you point them to your Google document, you have them learn all that stuff, and then turn it, come back here to the bot settings. You're like, okay, this thing is so fine-tuned. I am perfectly happy with the response that this thing is going to give to people when it responds. So now I'm going to put this baby into full autopilot mode and save my customer a lot of time by having to answer all these, because I feel very confident that the bot's going to be able to respond the correct way to the questions, because we've trained it, we've looked over it over and over again. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I hope this really cleared up this whole conversation AI, cost factors, setting agency level, how to include it in your cost, all this kind of stuff that you have to be able to include and get prepared for if you want to introduce this feature to your customers. If you got even one piece of nugget from here, please click the like button in this particular video. YouTube really likes it, makes my channel really stand out a little bit more. YouTube will make my videos better, put them out a little bit more, and you would really help me out here. So I thank you so much in advance, and high levelers, have a great day.